I'm Mike Sullivan.
And I'm Lauren Rosella Sullivan. So what are we working on today, Mike?
Well, today we're gonna shoot a video on pivot problems.
Okay, and so that is, in the Sullivan Golf Formula, we have the club, course, and clarity phases to help you play your best golf. Today it's going to be the full swing component of the club phase.
Correct. Another brisk one, huh?
Yeah, it's chilly.
It's March in North Carolina, and we learned a long time ago not to think of spring as coming too soon.
Right.
Because sometimes it's a little, I guess we shouldn't complain, those of you watching in Minnesota, right? All right, we're talking about the pivot. And really, we're talking about curing a reverse pivot. Reverse pivot is really common because people are basically trying to shift their weight, and they know they should shift their weight. And a lot of times people are slicing or making really bad contact, thin shots and fast shots. Mm-hmm. And they really are getting ahead of themselves. They're not looking at what they're doing in their backswing. They're thinking about what they might be doing on their downswing. So let's talk about that. All right, so why don't you show me a reverse pivot? Let's do that. Yep, there it is. Oh, he gave the out to in too, right? So if I can borrow that. So what Lauren just showed you was at setup, we're always going to set up. We should always set up with a little bit of a tilt here like this. My backhand or my right hand is on the club lower than my front hand, my left hand, and I want to tilt my spine a little bit like this. Right? Well, what I really want to do is I want to maintain that tilt of that spine in my backswing. I want to maintain that. However, when we shift weight into our back foot, we tend to shift weight sometimes from here. So instead of making a swing that looks this way, it gets more this way. We call that a reverse pivot. And the problem with it, and if you remember the shot that Lauren hit, one of the big problems is just kind of the stock shot we'll see from that. We get this back here, we're here, and then you get back to the ball, boom, and the club travels from out to in. And normally people have an open club face, so with a short club, the ball goes pretty much straight, right? And they think they just have a problem with their long clubs because a long club is going to slice more than a short club, right? The other problem people will have, sometimes a little better player, somebody who's kind of got things figured out, is they will make their reverse pivot like this. And in order to get back to the ball, they know they shouldn't swing this way, so they try to route the club back from the inside. They get their hips working inside towards the ball, shoulders come back like this, and they have trouble making solid contact as well, although they may not swing the club from out to in. In either case, we don't want a reverse pivot.
So how does somebody know if they're doing, or if they have a reverse pivot?
Best way is on video. So get your phone, set it up right in front of you, or like actually just like this. It's pointing right at me right here. Mm-hmm. You can see, are we this way or are we? Right? Okay. So let's show you a few drills to do, starting with the easiest first, working our way up to hitting balls.
Okay.
Number one, easiest way. We're going to take some variables out of play. We're going to have you stand facing this way. Okay. And right now you can see your zipper basically mimics your spine. Go ahead and cross your hands across your shoulders. Now give me a little secondary spine tilt. Right. Now what I'd like to have you do instead of, there you go. So let's set up straight again. So instead of just dropping this shoulder, I want this hip to bump towards its target a little bit as the head comes back a little bit. Good. Now go ahead and just turn your shoulders naturally. So face that way. Good. So you can see how she's got that nice, she's maintained that tilt of her torso. So that's number one. Get good at this. So you want to get really good at this before you get on to drill number two. All right? Now in drill number two, if you watch me from over here, right? So I already got drill number one down. Great. Well now I'm going to bend this way. So we call this our primary spine tilt. So I'm going to bend the way I would hit a ball. Secondary spine tilt here. And I'm just going to turn like this, right? And I'm feeling like my hips are moving towards the target a little bit as the center of my chest, my sternum, is moving back that way towards the back of the boat. All right, so let's see again.
All right.
Good setup. Let's turn. All right, good. Now you kind of messed that up, Lauren. I wanted you to do it the wrong way.
Oh, right.
All right, now she's going to show you the way that people will start doing this. Okay? Good. So you'll notice how as she's turning, the shaft is parallel to the ground still. But if you think of our anatomy, right? Let's do that again. If you think of our anatomy, take your setup again. What should happen is, just stay there, let go of this. When she turns her shoulders, this shaft should be 90 degrees relative to her spine tilt. Right? Yeah, like that. That should be happening. All right? So when you first learn this, don't be picky about your shoulders getting too level. Don't worry about that. But after working on this thing for a day or two, then start to get picky about, you're going to feel like this shoulder works underneath your chin a little bit, and then your trail shoulder comes up a little bit. So you can see that her shoulders are turning pretty much 90 degrees relative to her torso angle. Good. And I'm just saying torso angle because you might say spine angle, but spine angle is a bit of a misnomer on this. All right? So now we've got two fairly easy drills to do. Mm-hmm. How about an in-swing drill?
Okay.
All right? So I'm going to show you this one. We call this the tightrope drill. Now this is really something we want to be really good at the first two drills at first. So I'm going to set up. I've got my nice secondary spine tilt. I've also got my primary spine tilt. All right? Boom. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stand like I'm on a tightrope. Right? And the most important thing here is I want to maintain this tilt this way. So my rear end, my hips are kind of on this side of the tightrope, and my head is on this side of the tightrope. So I'm balancing myself. And then I want to see if I can hit some shots. I'm going to start with a practice swing. Whoa. What happened there?
Lost your balance.
Reverse pivot. Could you tell from back there?
Yes.
You good? All right. So I got to make sure my rear end stays over here and my shoulders and hips stay over here. There we go. I like that. It's a good hit. Not a big swing. Here we go.
Now, does it matter what foot is in front on this drill?
You know, I'm not too picky about that. I think if it's hard enough to hit balls like this, let's just get your feet on that tightrope.
Okay.
Go ahead and practice it. You can even try it both ways.
So whatever feels natural.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. A couple of practice swings first, then hit your shot. Beautiful. Beautiful swing.
Ooh, that wasn't as comfortable.
You had it. Let's hit it. Great job. Great job, Lauren.
Thank you.
Very, very good. So, in order to really kind of get a handle on this pivot thing, you're going to start off with the first very easy drill, which is completely vertical. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't forget your secondary spine tilt, and go ahead and turn your chest back behind you. Good. Second drill you're going to do is you're just going to basically add your primary spine tilt. Right? Good. And then the third thing you're going to do is practice. I'm going to get out of your way. Practice those tightrope drills. Very good. And you got to work a lot on this, but it will make a huge difference in your ball striking and in your golf game. Your fun gauge will go all the way to full. I hope that helps.
We'll see you next time.